Any given year in New York City, about 5,000 children are removed from their homes and placed into foster care. The reasons range from physical abuse, sexual abuse, to severe neglect.
I had to become an adult basically at an early age. This man used to get drunk, and he'll get drunk to the point where him and my mom is arguing, and at the time I'll be going to sleep. I sold weed, and when I was selling weed, basically, it was more for my brothers and sisters. I was like, I didn't want them to end up with no food. Like, we would literally go sometimes a day without food. I didn't care about the consequences that came out of it. I just cared more that it made me money and it'll help me with my younger brothers, my younger siblings, basically. At one point, my mom told me, "Anthony, I wish you was never born."
Before I went into foster care, I was actually transitioning, moving from shelter to shelter. It was a really traumatic experience. I didn't feel safe. A lot of my trust was lost, honestly. One of my principals and my teachers from school realized that something was wrong because I kept bringing like a humongous bag with me to school every day and leaving it in the office and whatnot. And so when I spoke to them, then ACS got involved. Honestly started to blame myself at that point for everything that was happening. So I was really sad. I ended up crying a lot because of everything that was happening.
Our job is to find a home, and that doesn't just mean someone who has a spare room in their apartment. Anybody that really wants to open not only their home, but their family to a child. Our job then is to help them understand what it really means to be a foster parent, that they have to fill every role that a parent was filling or should have filled in a child's life. Before a child goes into a foster parent's home, there's extensive training that the foster parent goes through, really to help them identify any issues that might come up and how to deal with those situations.
We rock her to sleep every night. One of the things that's been really challenging to her is nighttime. Some of her history, it kind of makes sense that that would be a really hard time for her. So one of us stays with her and rocks her until she falls asleep. Like one of the trainers in our class said, you just have to hold on. You just have to that's kind of what you have to do. You just have to keep holding on, and it feels like, you're like about to go on a really scary roller coaster.
One of the things that they talk about in the training is they really emphasize this is a forever relationship. This is it for the three of us.
For the last 15 years, I've been a foster parent to 9 children. I just wanted to give my time to the kids, because if you don't have that time for those kids, then that means that don't take them. It's a 24-hour job.
The purpose of foster care is for me to actually be in that one home and stay there, so I can get my love and attention, support, all that stuff that is necessary for me to grow into the young man or the young woman that you aspire to become.
I'm not gonna lie, I will yell at him. I'm gonna be that mother. And I'm gonna be your mother, I'm your mother, I'm responsible for you, you're my child.
When I got my first check, I remember specifically, I brought it to Ms. Carrington, and we came up with a little plan that we said that I'm going to start a savings account. And so even now in college, I have a job on campus. I work in the dining center, and I still do the same routine. I put the money in my account, and half of it or a certain portion of it will go into my savings.
This will be my 14th year actually being a foster parent. As an adult, I've learned a lot from children as well, because you learn so much. Like, you don't hear these things. If you're not a foster parent, you don't get exposed to certain things. You just live your life, and you know how you were raised and how your family members were raised. I'm an advocate for my children. I will fight to the end for my children. They have to know that this is the person that they can rely on and trust.
She's been working with Meredith, her therapist here. More feelings were coming up for her than she could keep up with. She really has used the therapy to kind of work through feelings, and so it's been kind of an anchor. John and I both have a lot of admiration for the person who's this caseworker. She brings a lot of life experience, an enormous amount of dedication, and just a lot of just sort of practical parental wisdom. She's a parent herself and a grandparent, and we have just a lot of respect for her, and just like her a lot. So
whatever training you need, they will make sure you get that training. I wouldn't want to go nowhere else. I'm serious. I love this agency.
I always get a little weird about when people say, oh, you're doing such a nice thing, or, because for, I feel like she's doing so much by being part of our lives. My heart swells regularly. She's a joy.
For me, I know Miss Carrington's family is perfect for me, and I want to be here always. Like, it's perfect.
I'm grateful you came into my family.
I want to say that I'm grateful to be a part of your family, and I'm very grateful for meeting you, and thank you for all the help and support you've given me.
So when I get 50, you got to support me.
Definitely.
And in the end, one of the most important things that we do as an agency and that our foster parents do is really give a child hope. A lot of our kids come from places where they have no reason to believe their life is going to be good. And we need to help them start to see that it can be. We need to be the people that can give a child hope for their own future.